Hello, everyone. Good to see all these same faces again for the most part. Everyone wants round two, apparently. Welcome to Increasing Collaboration in Government. I'm gonna let Chris do most of this one. I'll handle Q&A again. We're gonna try and do an actual scenario of a real life thing government could do with teams out in the world. My intention of this session was to give you all something that is relevant to you that you could maybe go home and actually do yourself, or at least modify to what you need. Something where if you loaded up the deck is just a couple slides. If you loaded up the video of this session, you won't have a video stream, but you'll be able to see the content that he's gonna show. You could actually follow the steps and create it and try and use something and not just feel so left out in the cold where it's like, oh, cool new tools, what do I do? So we're gonna try and give you something that. So again, for those of you that don't know who we are, I am David Rosenthal, Senior Program Manager at Microsoft in Engineering. I own Microsoft Teams in all government clouds, so GCC, GCC High, and DoD. And this is my awesome coworker, Chris. I'll let him introduce himself and I'll shut up and let him do his thing. He did all this work. I'm just the Vanna White here.
It's exaggerating. Hi everyone, my name is Christopher Bryan. Again, I'm a product marketing manager for Microsoft Teams. As David mentioned, the objective of this session is to walk you through a scenario of what you can do with Teams, specifically translating the power of Teams to something that is really relevant to the government. In this demo, we're going to be talking about how to use Teams to run disaster preparedness exercise. So it's top of mind for public safety. And throughout this demo, I will be running through the eyes of Alan, who's going to be a government official who has been working with the rest of the stakeholders to develop the policies, the procedures of disaster recovery. And now he's ready to make that a reality through this exercise. To do that, I am going to change my screen. And hopefully you guys will be able to see it soon.
You're good.
All right, perfect. So here I just log in as Alan. As you can see here, we have multiple channels, multiple teams already created. Specifically, I want to highlight the fact that he has created a disaster planning team. So this is a team where he has interacted in the past with the rest of the stakeholders to create these policies that we're going to be executing this exercise. Now, we also have created already the exercise team in here, this specific environment. But for those of you that have not created a team in the past, to create a team is very easy. Just go to the bottom of this left pane, click Join and Create a Team. Simply create team. And in here, you can actually define the team name that is relevant to what you're trying to accomplish, a description to make sure that anyone who joins the team has a sense of what exactly you guys are trying to do, and as well as you can define whether you want this to be a private one or a public one. A private one requires everyone to be in the team. They have to be added by the owner. If it's a public one, anyone can join it regardless of whether the owner actually pulls them in or not.
Anyone in the org, don't get scared.
So if I had followed all of these, fill out all this information and click next, the next screen is just to add the people. So since you already have the team created, I will not go to all that depth, but let's say that you created a team and suddenly you forgot someone from legal or someone from HR to be part of this team. You can easily right-click the team, click Add Member, and you can actually click anyone in your organization, so you don't have to have all of the people when you create a team. You can add them as needed. In this example, for example, Adele is going to be my analyst that's going to be working on collecting the measurements of the exercise. I have clicked Adele. I've added here. If I click Add, she would be added to the team. Right now, Teams is picking up that I already have it in the team, so there's no ways to duplicate the notifications if you have someone already in the team. Perfect. So I have the team. Underneath the team, you can see that we have a couple of channels already created. Channels are a way for you to organize the work that you're trying to accomplish in a way that makes sense to you. If you're working on a project, that can be specific work streams. So if you're working in implementation, it can be your business analyst, it can be your project management, it can be a network assessment. If you are, in this specific example, looking at, we have specific departments outlined here, like healthcare, we have legal, we have police and fire. But we also have channels that are aligned more to specific actions that we're doing. So the analytics channel is all about Adele pulling all that information for us to make sure that we track how are people doing in the exercise. If we look at the high priority channel, that's a channel that we have created to make sure that everyone knows that anything that is posted in this channel needs to be read immediately because action is required. Now we have the channels, we have the team, we have added everyone. The next step that Alan needs to take is let everyone know that this is happening, right? To do that, he has gone into the general channel and he has created a post message where he outlined exactly where the exercise is going to be taking place, as well as letting everyone know that the date that is happening. So as you can see here, we have that the exercise is going to be doing June 19. And the cool thing about this is you can see after that post, a couple of movements happen. We added people, we're removing people. And the good thing about Teams is with persistent chat, as I add these people, they will see that post as well. So I don't need to go back and make sure that every single person that after I posted that knows about this exercise. Additionally, Alan has shared specific documents around the exercise, specifically an outline of the activities, as well as the playbook for this specific event. He has attached those specific documents to the posts, and the good thing about Teams is regardless of where that post happened, you don't have to go all the way back to find the specific file. Everything that is posted in a channel can be found in the Files tab. So if I navigate here, you will see those two documents that Alan has posted in an easy location to be accessed. Now, let's take a step forward. If we have a specific document or a specific spreadsheet that you recurrently use in a specific channel, it would be a good idea for you guys to put it in a place that is easy accessible. So like people don't have to navigate to the Files tab all the time. In order to do that, you can actually create a tab itself that contains a specific document. If we see the document that Alan has shared, the outline activities, you can see that it's actually a tab as well within the specific channel. So as people come into the channel, they review the post, they easily can click the tab, look at the document, revise anything that needs to happen. And if for some reason Alan needs to co-author or editing something in here, he can do that real time by just clicking edit here. So all of the capabilities of co-authoring and sharing that you guys love from Office 365 also pulls here into Teams, and you guys don't have to jump around to multiple places. Perfect, so we have a team, we have the channel, we have announcements, we have empowered everyone with the right information to be successful in this specific exercise. So what we have next is actually kick it off. In order to do that, Alan has actually posted a kickoff post in the high priority channel. As you can see here, he has named it Air Quit Exercise Kickoff. He has marked it as important, so everyone can see from the banner, the red banner that calls it important, as well as the exclamation mark that is going to visually call their attention. But also he has mentioned the entire channel. What that does is create an alert for everyone that is part of that channel, and everyone gets a notification in the activity feed. As I mentioned before, because of this channel was purposely created for anything that's posted in here to be top of mind, everyone can come into the channel, read it, and reply if needed. So as we can see here, we have a couple of replies from the team already. Another thing that we wanted to highlight specifically in this type of exercise preparedness exercises, we want to make sure that we throw curveballs to our first responders to make sure they're able to react in any unexpected situation. In this specific example, we have an air quit that took place, but additionally, we have a light rail derailment in this specific post that we have underneath. Alan has again marked it as important, and he has actually mentioned two additional specific channels, which are the police and fire, as well as the healthcare channel. What that does, it triggers a notification to the people that are part of those channels to call their attention and immediately be able to react to that. In this specific post, he's also shared the location of it, so everyone can start working on their tasks. The good thing about channels is it helps you focus or target the information that you want to share to the relevant audience. In this specific post, he has shared information about the derailment with both the police and fire and the healthcare department. But in that event, they don't necessarily have the same metrics of success. So what Alan has done is gone into each of those specific channels and share what does that mean success for the police and fire department. In this case, we can see that for success for the police and fire department is they need to block close all the roles in the derailment area, as well as start the rescue operations. But the good thing about Teams as well is because everything is in one place, all the conversations about this specific event and success metrics can happen in one place. So as you can see here, we have a couple of interactions between the Chief of Police and Alan, just updating about what is the status of each of the specific tasks too. Similarly, he has shared that with the healthcare group, sharing that this metrics for success for them is to be able to coordinate everything, coordinate with all the hospitals around the area to be able to take care of an influx of about 100 injured people too. Now, we have all of these events happening at the time. We have the police, we have the healthcare, everyone is running around doing their tasks. And Alan has been sharing a lot of information about, if this happened, you need to do this. But a key activity for this type of exercises is being able to track what's going on in terms of performance metrics. And for that, we actually can go to the analytics channel. And this is where Adele has been working on compiling all of the information through an Excel file that she has created. Similar to what we mentioned before, Adele has put this Excel spreadsheet in as a tab in this specific channel. And throughout all of the exercise, she has been working on capturing whether a specific task was successful or was not successful, as well as what is the impact in terms of the exercise overall. And here we can see that we have a first report time, the time to resolve, as well as a benchmark on how that does measure what we're expected. We also can see here that we have a visual or a graph where she can, as she updates the specific cells in the Excel file, it helps us track from a visual perspective how are things working out from a fail to pass and by department as well. This is great information. So as the activities wind down and everyone completes their exercises, she decides to actually create a document or PowerPoint that captures all of the outcomes as well as why is a specific department passed or failed, as well as in opportunities for improvement. So similar to what we see here, she has created an a PowerPoint where she has taken all of the Excel information and put it into a very consumable way, just highlighting specifically what happened, the reasons for the specific outcomes, as well as opportunities to improve. So this is great material to be shared with a lot of the team members. So from this view, Alan is able to see the outcome of the exercise, but it's great for us to have a richer discussion with the rest of the participants about what happened and what can be improved overall. In order to do that, he can actually go into the meetings tab, and directly from Teams, he can actually schedule a meeting by simply just clicking the schedule meeting button here. He can add a title, he can create a description for it, but I want to highlight here is he actually has the option to select a channel to have this meeting in. What selecting a channel for the meeting does is when the meeting starts, everything that happens in the meeting from a chat perspective and from a comments perspective is hosted in the channel. So if for a specific reason, a specific person couldn't attend the meeting and they're part of that channel, they can come back and still see what people were chatting about, sidelines. If there's after the meeting any comments that happen, all of that is centralized in one place. If I come back here and let's say I just want to highlight really quickly from a meetings perspective what is the experience. As you can see, when you join a meeting, immediately you have the option to select how do you want to join the meeting from an audio and video perspective. You can toggle down your audio to off. You can turn off your video if you want to. But once you're inside the meeting, the same capabilities that you know and love from tools like Skype for Business are here as well. So you're able to share your screen, a specific desktop or like a window. You can actually have your chat conversations in here as well. You can add more people into the conversation if you forgot to have someone in the invite. All of that all of this within Teams. Now, after the meeting is done, I'm actually going to close the meeting here. This specific meeting, as you can see, was hosted in the debrief and review channel of the disaster planning team. And all of the things that happen in the meeting are captured in here. So for example, if anyone missed the meeting, they can simply come in here and reply, hey, I was not able to come to the meeting. Can you tell me which my action items? If you want to capture anything from a meeting, from an action item perspective, as a comment here, you can do it as well. But again, everything is in one place, so you don't have to jump around and have to like chase people for the action items. So after meeting is done and everyone has had the ability to debrief and identify the areas for improvement, finally, Alan just wanted to make sure that he said thank you everyone for the good job. So he can simply go to the general channels, say thank you everyone for the great job, and just go back to his team and debrief again. Yeah.
I hope that gives you guys some sort of like idea of something reality. What I find most interesting about this sort of transition to Teams is everything Chris set up, it sounds like we make it sound like simple, I know, all so that sort of stuff. In the real world, the persistence is a game changer, right? When you hire someone new or someone shifts departments or something like that happens and people maneuver around in the company, if you were doing all that sort of stuff in email before, that knowledge is gone. No one's going to go dig up those old emails and re-forward them to those people, or it's like, oh, I forgot to add you to the meeting, you're going to miss this whole series or something until we figure it out. In Teams, you just add them to the team, and they see everything instantly. They see the history of that. They can go in and see the last metrics of the last time they did this exercise and know immediately, this is where I need to improve. I don't have to go through a whole nother cycle to figure out what my job is. I get some context. I think that's very powerful in this world. Myself, when I joined Microsoft, we build Microsoft Teams in Teams. So I joined into Teams and immediately was just obliterated with information. And yes, it can be overwhelming, but I focus in on the channels I care about, and I go back and read maybe a month of history and see what's going on, and I'm up to speed. Right? I don't have to like take a billion hours from my manager to figure out what the heck is happening or what's going on or what meetings do I need to join. It's all there for me waiting. So that sort of thing is very powerful. And I tried to like make sure we had an example that was relevant to government, but that sort of could tell that story. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm happy to take questions. I know everyone loves to ask me questions. So fire away if you got them, or if you're just tired and want to go to Universal and have fun, that's okay too. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So the question was, when he just joined a new company a little bit ago, and someone sent him a whole bunch of SharePoint links and said, go read all these files or something like that. And yes, that sort of works to get files, but he didn't get any of the context of the conversation in email and that sort of stuff. And the main question was, do you see people shifting all their SharePoint stuff in there? And there's sort of two parts to that. One, this is all SharePoint on the back end. So that's great. All the files are stored in SharePoint. But two, absolutely yes. So when I add someone to a team, they're immediately getting permissions into all of the workloads that belong to that team. So it's really an Office 365 group in the back. So any of the files that are assigned to that team that are part of that, the mailbox, if people are using that sort of stuff, they immediately have access to that. If they're using any of the other workloads that are attached, it's just there for them. They can go get all that. All the conversations and stuff are there for them. So yes, we've seen a huge shift in that. I joke around a lot with a lot of my friends and stuff that, we'll kill email one day. We're not going to kill email one day, but your email will reduce. For your internal, as marketing would say, the inner loop of stuff, your email will reduce there because you work inside of Teams to take care of that stuff. You no longer have to send emails and get the crazy forked emails that go everywhere and you get lost and where did that one reply go? All that's gone. It's all in Teams, searchable. It made my life a lot better. I could not do what I do today if we did not have Teams. I would move probably a good 30% slower. Yeah. Anyone else? Go ahead. Sure. Yes, you can invite, just like normal, you can invite external email addresses to meetings. If they aren't licensed or anything like that, they'll either get like a join link and it'll bring them in as like a guest, or not guest, but an anonymous user or a dial-in type user. If you have all the phone options and everything turned in, they'll get a phone number to dial into if they want to do it that way, but you can absolutely bring them in. So that is available. No, it's fine. Correct. There's also the concept of guest access, where you can add them to a team as an external guest. They either need Office 365 AAD, or I think you can do a Microsoft account these days if your admin allows that. And then they become a member of the team. And then they can access those files and everything, but they're just cordoned off to that team itself. Nothing beyond that. Go ahead. Got to wait till stream. So recording will come. We're just waiting on stream to enter that environment, and then we'll get our work done right after and bring it to you. What do you mean old meetings? Like recording or different question? No, so wherever your data is there, it'll stay there. This will be new. It'll save in the cloud with stream. Yep. Anyone else? Define archiving. Yep. Yes. So all of our stuff, like any chats you have inside channels or chats or whatever, is journaled over into Exchange. And then the full capabilities, Security and Compliance Center are there for you. So they can run auditing, e-discovery, legal hold. If they're super concerned about you, they can put you on hold and then your stuff will never die. So all that's available, retention, the whole thing is there for you. Yeah, go ahead, yet another. Yep. You mean the tab, or you mean just like? Ah. Interesting. Let me go digging around and look on that one. Daryl, what you got? If you guys don't know Daryl, Daryl is an awesome Microsoft MVP. He's my guest blogger today. Go follow him online. He loves all the people and will answer all your questions.